Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, it's Mike. It's been a while since I did a podcast. Thank you for listening to the podcast that is entitled Mike's Daily Podcast. And here we are at Cafe Anyway. This is episode 2287. And I might have made a decision that this was a bad idea to do a podcast today. I'm really tired and I'm all achy in my knee. Cause Mike's Daily Podcast. And I wasn't saying the word cousin in a slang sort of way. I said because Mike's I have daily. Oh, I gotta remember to do that. Podcast. Wait, let me make a note for myself. Yeah! I have to do that. I did not see that. Oh. So much. This is my life. It's too many. I'm making notes all the time. All these little things to remember. To use a mnemonic device to remember things. Mnemonics. Is that the same thing as the stuff that you use? I don't know. Hey, I was today at someone else's house in Podcaster Valley and saw how they were there's this little community of people that are trying to take care of some of the stray cats, the feral cats, not the band with Brian Setzer, the feral cats though, that are, you know, they get out of hand after a while in whatever suburb neighborhood you are. And the thing is, you got to get them spayed and neutered and all that stuff. It's not the, you know, it's a neat little cat community that's going on to try and combat this problem. It's amazing too how friendly the cats get and how thankful they are. Like any pet, you know, when you save a dog's life.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And I'll probably go back in time and show a picture of water or something. That's probably what I'll do for the podcast picture today. But yes, there is a little community of cat people. They're all linked now through Nextdoor. Nextdoor is the way to do it. Communicating and saying, hey, do you know what happened to my cat? Actually, recently somebody lost a cat. And that's another thing very prevalent in Podcaster Valley. We got lots of coyotes. And that's a way that a lot of them are going. That's right, Basil the boxer. So, Basil taught me, too, because he was a rescue. And what a great boxer he was. That animals are very thankful. Pets are very thankful when you save them. So let's say you're trying to remember something. Like I am. I'm trying to remember stuff that I was going to talk about earlier in the week. But then things got out of hand. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, things got out of hand. I couldn't do the podcast. One day, oh my gosh. I had I don't know what it was, where I had a headache and my knee was hurting simultaneously. That sucks. Like, give me one or the other, not both. So let's say you're trying to remember stuff. Convert words to pictures. First, we naturally remember visual cues better than words. The more senses you involve in learning or storing something, the better you will be recalling it. Say you need to remember to submit a proposal to a client at 10 o'clock for a meeting the next day. If you do, you're probably making more money than me because that sounds like an involved job. You commit your task to memory by visualizing your proposal, a stack of papers, on top of an alarm clock that reads 10 p.m. Oh, the trick here is to make the picture vivid. So visualize an alarm clock, time flashing, alarm blaring, and focus on it. 10 p.m. proposal. Got it. Okay. That reminds me too, on Monday, I helped produce a program for someone who is also a Podcastro Valley resident. In fact, we talked a lot about all the cool places you can go. He's a huge fan of Lake Chabot and walking along there. He's an anti-vaxxer, though, and it just, wow. And we didn't discuss that. We discussed everything but that. We didn't talk about, we talked about Podcastro Valley and stayed away from the anti-vax discussion, because that's his whole show, is talking about that and how the government, and it sounds to me like he's trying to relive the 60s, like he's trying to be all rebellious, and the government can't make me do this, the government can't make me go to Vietnam, the government can't make me, I'm going to burn my draft card and all this stuff. He's burning his vaccine card is what he's doing. You can't make me get a vaccine. And that's where this fervor is coming from. And I was talking to somebody who was, you're hearing more and more stories about people being put in the hospital because they're refusing to take the vaccine and they're getting COVID. And that means a hospital bed that could go to someone who was, let's say, not as careless and needs that hospital bed because maybe they have a serious disease like cancer, or maybe they're pregnant and they're going to have a baby. All kinds of emergencies happening. And, well, anyway, maybe you don't want to get the vaccine. And there's the whole freedom thing, which Arnold Schwarzenegger just totally attacked that head on. And now the conservatives, even though they were all for him when he was running for governor, yay, Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah, he loves guns. He's got that big Hummer. He likes to do the gas guzzling. And then he got into office and he was talking all about the wonders of hydrogen and how our cars are going to run on hydrogen. But now he's all about, don't be stupid, get your frickin' shot, come with me if you want to live. He said that. Did you see that when he got his shot? Because he went through one of those drive-through vaccine shot things like I did at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont today, the last place on earth. Either way, so you're big on freedom, but and the conservative talk show hosts were criticizing him for saying that, because Arnold said, look, basically, there is a cost for freedom. And if we're going to function as a society, we need people to get vaccinated so this disease doesn't come back stronger, worse, or take, hospital beds away from people that need them, etc. You need to get vaccinated. But conservative talk show hosts are like, no, we lost Arnold. Arnold's gone. He's part of the liberal left. The liberals. This is what the liberals do. They just want to kill and eat your children. That's what they want to do. I honestly hear that. This is what the left wants to do. They want to just kill anybody who thinks that you shouldn't have to take the vaccine. You should be freedom. Be free to do whatever you want. No. Stop doing this. This is the kind of talking and verbiage that's going to tear apart our country. Along with the people not getting vaccinated and the coronavirus killing off everybody and the variant and the variants of the variant. So back to memorizing things. Think of physical places that you regularly go to, your car, your desk, your recliner, and mentally put the picture from what we were just discussing, the alarm clock or whatever, the proposal, in one of those spots. One of the places, for example, you might think of the hood of your car. You see your hood a lot when you're commuting. And you could put the proposal on the alarm clock on the hood of the car. And then there's this thing called stacking. If you just use rote memorization, you'll probably top out at remembering roughly 3 items, is what they say. That's fine if your dinner only ever contains 3 ingredients, or your to-do list only ever has 3 tasks on it, but most of us live more complicated lives than that. You've created your mental picture of the proposal on an alarm clock, and you put it on the hood of your car. But what if you also need to remember that you've promised 3 pricing options for the proposal? So you've offered to include the bios for some experts that your client may need. You've also decided that you need to invite this client to your annual Labor Day cookout, or what I like to call a barbecue. I don't say cookout, but that's fine. I love people that do cookouts. They are the best cooks, interestingly enough, I have found. Here's how you do it. Stack your pictures. Now remember that these pictures need to be as vivid as possible so they'll stick. So you have a blaring alarm clock with a proposal on top. You add a set of scales with 3 balances. That would be the 3 prices to consider. And 2 people sitting on the scales, your expert bios. And then imagine those people eating hot dogs. That would be the cookout. That's everything you need to remember, all stacked up and sitting on the hood of your car. Or you can use rhymes. There's mnemonic devices, acronyms like homes, and sentences like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Help you remember things like the names of the Great Lakes. That would be Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior, and the mathematical order of operations. Parenthesis, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Work specifically on names. If you remember a new acquaintance's name, you demonstrate that he or she is important to you. Conversely, if you never remember names, you may appear careless. So, like my mom did very well with the business that she had. She had a video store. And this is back before Blockbuster got big, but she was able to compete once Blockbuster came around because she was good at remembering her customers' names. And though she charged more than Blockbuster, she had that good personal touch that people enjoyed, and they love it when you remember their name. Okay, that all came from, by the way, AmericanExpress.com. Now, I don't know if they're the best, but they have a thing on their website about leadership and 7 tricks to help you remember anything. So there you go. That was from a guy named Michael Wicks. Is that a real name? That's like saying the name Mike twice. When I was on the radio in the 90s, I was on a classic rock station, like an oldie station, and they told me I couldn't use my last name, Matthews, so I went by the name Mike the Mike. That's what Michael O. Wicks kind of sounds like, but anyway, he wrote that, Cafe Anyway, and I'm Mike Matthews, and there you go. And American Express, I guess I'm not endorsing American Express, maybe. You know what? Here's the thing. I have an American Express card, and I hardly ever use it. It really doesn't have, as far as rewards go. I guess I could, and this is their free card that they have, their free credit card. So you're not paying an annual fee or anything like that on top of it. But they give you something like it's like 2 or 3% when you shop at a grocery store. I guess that's the only thing good about it, because they don't really give you much for gas, cash back rewards, that kind of thing. So, we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Look who's here. Hello, Michael Mash, it's Madame Rootabega, and all this talk about remembering things is wonderful. Oh. Look who else is here. Hello, dear Mike, this is Valentino, the parking attendant. And it's a Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Guys, you know what? That headache that I had the other day, it's coming back. So, no offense, but were you offended, Madame Rootabega? Yes. Do you want me to say something else offensive? Yes. Do you like peanut butter? No. I don't know if peanut butter is offensive, but to some of you it might be. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer. Thank you for listening. We'll try and bring you more podcasts in a more daily fashion. Hopefully I don't get interrupted, but you can interrupt me and give me a call. Tell me what you think about anything we covered today. 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast tries to be.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!